Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We're playing the master plan city and we're continuing the master plan today. So in this area I've done a little bit of work in between. I've done a bit of a layout for the international airport area. So in the last episode I believe I did this interchange piece over there. So no overlap and no weaving and so on. And what I've done is so these are the one-ways. Goes to the airport, feeds the airport, and then comes back out. And so I've done one ways in between. So there's a one way that way, that way, that way, that way. So that's one ways. This is also one way. What I've done is I've added the service road here on this side, and we've got a nice big, fairly big road running up the middle here, Beechwood Street basically, towards the airport from Broad Street to Beechwood. Well, actually that's the service road, the Travis Gray Highway service road. And then in here I'm starting to put in some utilities. And look at this, I didn't use Anarchy or anything, it just squeezed in so nicely the large recycling center up against the highway over here, which I think is the perfect spot for something like that. And it's practically hugging the ramp over here, so very cool, very cool. I did do a little bit of zoning, so the intention here is that this is going to be commercial next to the airport with a bit of a commercial street down here, and then I want a lot of office in there as well. So my question, however, is do we also do a little bit of residential? And I'm kind of tempted to in fact do some residential, but maybe over here somewhere or to the edges, not in this little strip. What we could also do, and I'm just thinking about it now, it's not actually going to work. But we could, if I didn't put the recycling center in there, we could actually get this road to go in underneath there. But we'll see, maybe in the future. So I'm just going to keep filling this out. It's been a long day, and just keep filling this out. The other thing that I'm also missing here is I probably need a bit of a bus station. And the question, wow, that's crazy big. Whether we need a bus station like that size is a little bit over the top, I think. I'd rather just run a little something like this. It's actually almost a perfect that one. So let's do it on this side. Over here. Right. Look at that. That is so cool. Straight from the train. Well, it's not a seamless integration. Seamless integration would have dropped you straight in there, but this is not a big facility or anything, so that's fine. So let me just then remove that little section over here, and even like that. And what I'll do is I will just put a little footpath in there. So can I? Yes, there we go. And it's not the greatest little footpath, so let's grab something that hopefully looks fills the space a little bit better. So let's do something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. This one I know, but what we'll do is we're going to run our footpaths in the middle through there, so we can have a nice pedestrian environment towards the back of things. And the issue is, however, there won't be any crossings, and if we add crossings, man, this section will be full and busy. So really, these are just niceties to make it look nice. I don't think it'll carry a lot of traffic unless what we do, and we can do, look at that in the future, at least like one of them we can raise up and cross straight through. We could raise them to a certain extent, some of them at least. Okay, well, let's get the thing moving. Oh, what I also did is I extended this road over here, put a dip underneath here, and we'll see whether we tie it in over here somehow, or whether we run this way, or maybe both. That's why I just extended this way, and so somehow this thing will have to go in here, maybe towards the beach over there. So you can, so the idea is you arrive here and you go straight to the beach. But this side is, however, our more industrial area. Our port is probably going to go over here. Not deep enough for a port if I look at it that way. Port should probably be in this section. Yeah, maybe this area is nice for a port, because then we can extend our industrial area up here as well. We'll see how we do, how we get. There's still a lot to do. So yes, this is the little master plan section around the airport. It's kind of filling in. You know what I'm gonna do here, and I may actually get rid of this. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of it. I don't want this one here yet. What I want to do is I want to do a park all around this. Some kind of city park or something. Yeah, I think so. I like the idea of that. And that can connect. Yes, that's absolutely right. I'm going to get rid of this guy. It fits in so perfectly over there, but really it's not exactly what we're after. What I'll do now is I'm now going to put a park in here, because then this area is not going to be that busy. And we've got these services right in the middle of the park. Well, we do need a little bit of this to sort itself out over here. So maybe something like that. So we'll have a smaller one right over there. We could even do two. Actually, even two of them might be pretty good for us instead of the one. And then what we'll do also is I'm going to need us to grab some of these guys. So we'll squeeze in one of them over there. Now these guys are doing their thing in all kinds of directions. Excellent. I'm loving how it's filling in over here. We're gonna link up the train and those kind of things, and we'll see how we run this train. We can actually run this train right on top of this road, or we can drop it down and run it in the middle over here somewhere. We will see, but now it's a station right, well, pretty close to the airport, at least. Pretty close to the airport. It's getting nice and busy over here. And these guys are, instead of sending that way, they're heading all the way to the city over here. So we definitely need another, maybe two interchanges over here. One that feeds in this way. Yeah, potentially. And this area could kind of be a little bit more isolated. And then one that feeds in over here and that way and this way. Yeah, I think that will work quite well. Okay, let's continue what we're doing over here. Question. Oh, well, now... Okay, let's do the park. Let's do the park. While we've got all of this running, let's actually do the park. So we want... and maybe we do a bit of an amusement park. It's definitely not a nature reserve. But an amusement park... close to the airport. Is that a thing? Yeah, is that a thing? We don't want a zoo. We've got a zoo. But do we look into an amusement park? Do we get ourselves well, the issue is I don't think it's big enough for an amusement park. No, let's just do a city park. A nice city park. And my question is, where do we actually get the entry point? Or do we just do a small main gate over there and then side gates over here? But that doesn't actually extend that reach. If we then place something like this, wow, so no, the main gate is an important part of getting us to get it. So what I'll do is I'm going to put the main gate over here. Okay, so I'm going to start it there. At the same time, I'm just thinking I probably need to run this one in here somehow. And it's not okay. Let me do the anarchy thing a little bit over there, and we'll squeeze it in there and see how that works. So at least it goes to the park there. And what in this instance, what I will do is I will actually add the footpath over here. Yeah, that's probably about as close as we're gonna get. So the same thing I'll do on this side. Where's my park? Pause it for a second. Give me my side gate. No, oh, it's not in the park area. Okay, fine. Let's just get it, sort out the park area. Park area, please. We need this nice and small so I can actually extend. No. Extend the Mill Gardens. And then we'll move to, well, let's get it onto the road. Perfect. And we'll run it. No. Perfecto. Excellent. Now we'll just color that in. And there we go. Mill Gardens over here. And now let's get that extra gate that we wanted to do before all of that falls in. Perfect. So that's the extra gate right over there. I want to grab ourselves a little bit of this. Let's do that. Ooh, actually that's too much. That was too much. I wasn't thinking when I applied that. Use Anarchy wisely. There we go. That's actually what I wanted to do. Perfect. So now that one, those can kind of do their thing. And what we'll do is we'll see about some extra side gates and things like that. So let's grab ourselves a couple of side gates. One over there. And we'll do one offset on this side over there. That kind of feeds things in a little. I don't want to do too many side gates. So yeah, there's the park over there as well. We can actually use the internal area there as the park as well. This is going to look pretty good. I like that idea. So the park is going to go in here now. We did do another park right over here in our suburb. And there's still a lot of work to be done in our suburb. So as these things pop up, we'll need to do that. I'm liking our suburb over here. Yeah, we have a nice big city park over here as well. It's a little difficult to see the distinction between what's park and what's not at the moment, but I think as it fills in, we will start to see nice stuff about it. And I actually like running the roads through the parks. It means it's an area where the cars go, but it's not stopping. It's not very not a lot of traffic friction in that area. Fills in nicely, you know. Getting back to this area over here. So now with that all pretty much filled in, there's a lot of office space over here. So the area can actually start getting busier. Seeing some vehicles make the move in here. We're not seeing anybody going out this way. We are seeing some people coming up here though. Yeah, this should actually work quite well. And to be honest, what we'll do is I'm going to grab this tool. And we are... No. This one. And what we'll do is... There's no way... What? Oh, yes, I'm reading this wrong. So you can go straight and like that. And you can only turn. Right? There we go. That makes much more sense. This guy... This guy needs to wait for this guy, whatever happens over here. But there shouldn't be any issues, I believe. There shouldn't be any issues. That would work quite well either way. Perfect. So the park, so I'm not going to fill in this park right now. What I'm thinking we should do is probably get a bit of a residential area over here. And the question is, how do I go about doing that? I want to tie off something from here, maybe. So if I just say, let's look standard roads, we'll grab ourselves something like this to indicate the residential nature of it. And we're probably going to find ourselves tying into something. What? Oh yeah, that's just the, yeah, that's fine. So I think we're going to probably tie into one of these. So we'll tie into that, and then we'll give ourselves a little bit more. And this is going to be... yeah, this will be... Yeah, it's fine. I think this is fine. We don't want it to get too crazy. There's going to be too many options. So there we go. So we're tying in over there. Right, and now we need to just do a little bit of a layout over here as well. So let's go back to something a little bit more normal. And maybe what we do is we give ourselves... Actually... Let's find our appropriate spacing here. And if we do something like that and tie these together, how does that look? So something like that, right? And now, unfortunately, with the turn in things, so if we say, give me a bit of straight line over here. If we do say something like that, right? Is that an appropriate, what we can do is we can actually feed in a little bit of a walkway in there. And this one, we just don't zone on that, we zone on the other side. But see this issue here. It's not really big enough, but what we could do is we can do a little bit of high density residential over here as well. But I'm just actually noticing that we're not in the mood. But I do think a little bit of residential. So look at this, right? So this stretch over here, we can hardly do anything over here. So the planes will be coming off here. We can't have high-rise buildings over this section. So a bit of a open question as to what we do with that. But this is looking good. Well, there's the planes doing its thing. Yeah, I'm keen that we do some. Okay, what we'll do is we'll do a little cluster of residential, and look at that. That I hate it when it does that. That's the one thing about this game, that on the one hand it's a great system for doing it, but on the other hand it just doesn't seem like it's working. So we'll do a little bit of residential up and down this section. Over here we will tie out with some walkways into that direction. Can I just get some paths over here? Okay, and don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't be snapping to everything. Let's switch off the snapping. Thank you so much. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it like so. There we go. So now you can actually walk to this side of things. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, okay, so what we still need is we still need a fair bit of commercial. So let's make sure to actually run our commercial up this one as well. I'm going to zone directly onto that one, but right off of it I will. Similarly, I'm probably going to run a bit of zoning up here as well, because it does seem like we need a little bit more commercial to pop in. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. And then the offices need to grow a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We immediately see some residential moving in. Should I do a little bit more commercial up this strip here? So if we do something like that, right? And the question is, do we make it bigger than this, or do we just stick with that? Nah, let's just make it bigger. Make it bigger. Everything's bigger. There we go. Something like that should do the trick. And we can also do a little bit of a slither like so. So now I'm also keen that we do a little something over here and we continue the office environment. Are we running out of power? Yes, we are. Again, running out of power. Ever so briefly, but we still keep running out of power a bit. Okay, so this area is starting to grow quite nicely. I'm happy that we're seeing a fair bit of traffic running around over here. You know what we should do, and I'm popping around all over the place at the moment. So let's get ourselves, and let's make sure whether we do actually switch snapping back on. I'm thinking little bridges, right? I am thinking little bridges over the... So something like this, right? And now, so what I want to do is grab me this tool, and let's get ourselves a little bridge. Like 9 is sufficient. Give me a straight section over the top here. Why can't you hit me the corner there? Okay, well, on this side seemingly you've got some issues, and then it's like you don't want it, right? Okay, get the snapping switched off again for a while. I've got the grid line. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Now, with that, now we'll switch snapping back on, and what we'll do is, since this is a pedestrian one, we can drop it down pretty aggressively like so, and then tie it in quite nicely where it makes a bit of sense. Like that, it would be sensible to do that. Now similarly over here, we're going to drop that down as well pretty aggressively, I might add. Like over 5 is about a nice, is going to be the drop for us. And then the question is, how do we tie this in? And I think something like that is probably a decent tie in on that side. Nice, so that's one. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's get in here ever so quickly. I'm going to get the snapping switched off. I'm gonna take that as my guy. Oh, actually, up at 9. There we go. Switch that back on. We'll drop it pretty aggressively over 5, and we're gonna tie it in over there. Nice, and over here, I'm going to drop it straight into that one. Perfect. There we go. Nice, so now we've got some nice little walkways that goes all the way around. We can probably squeeze in a few more things on here. Let's quickly get ourselves some park restrooms. Oh, actually, before we do get to park restrooms, just make sure to tie in all of our access points. That's pretty good. And do we do... I think that's pretty okay for now. Okay, so a bit of a park restroom, maybe one over this corner, maybe one over here somewhere at the entrance. That's good. Then we want some info booths. I'm gonna grab us one info booth kind of right over here, and we'll do one say somewhere on this corner here, something like that. So we'll have a couple of info booths over there doing their thing. That is probably overlapping a little bit, so let's now probably have Anarchy on, so let's just move it a little bit so it's out of the way and doesn't clip that too much. Okay, something else in here, want something like this, maybe we'll squeeze it in there. That looks pretty awesome. Maybe we'll do a bit of a jungle gym over here. We'll get some trampoline parks, something, one or the other. Squeeze that in there. That's pretty cool. And the remaining, we'll just kind of cover a few kind of gazebos in a few random spots. Okay, we'll mix it up a little bit with color. One on that side, maybe one over here. There we go. Now the park is quite nice actually. I like the park around this. We have some water issues though. Oh yes, we haven't actually extended our water to this area. Yep, our snapping is on, so let's make sure to extend our water out a little bit over here. Now everything has power and has water. Nice. That is very good. And we've got a bit of a residential input over here as well. And of course, what is happening is we don't actually have that area connected. It's not quite how we would do it, but anyway, connected now. So I believe the police is struggling to get onto this, but they can do the loop straight from there around this way, right? It shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. Oh my goodness, I'm yawning. It shouldn't be a thing. People are walking, crossing the road, the likes. Nice. It is filling in very nicely over here, and this does lean towards giving it a bit of a nice little radial piece over here. So I'm tempted to radial it up a little bit, but maybe what we do is actually this section right here we extend as a straight, okay, just like that into an infinitum, and then probably need to run ourselves a little bit of a path, maybe not too close, something like that, right? It's only really going to do a couple of radials actually. So if we let's extend it a little like this. Now what I want to do is I want to see, this is not quite 100 straight. So if we do something like that, so yes, if we do say something like this as a radial, and then what I do is I'll get rid of that little piece there. So we'll do the next step out from there. So something like this. Too close. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Another radial, and we'll do one more radial to tie in over here. I think that is going to be the plan. Two for you. That's about the right. Though, is that actually the radial? That is actually the radial. So we'll have to give me a bit of a straight line right here, and we'll tie that in there. So there's the bit of the radial that we're talking about, and in my mind we could actually do a bit of a feed in here as well. Distance too short. Maybe not. Maybe we won't tie in on that side. So there we go. So that is starting to happen. This can be a little bit more square griddy kind of thing. But yeah, what I want to do over here, wow, and our residential demand is popping up quite substantially now. So give me some more water. Oh, we've got water. So I'll run a little bit of water down there and actually tie these two together, and maybe even these two over here. How's this going? I need to sort out what's going on with the traffic over there. And what I'll do is I'll run that one as well. Okay, there we go. Now let's grab some of these offices. So this is going to be almost an exclusively office environment, and that's going to kind of tie in straight into this park. I might actually put the park stuff on this side as well, the gates and stuff. Let's get that all tied together. Get rid of that one. Oop, I hope I didn't spoil that too much. So yeah, these radial ones don't actually work well in terms of your zoning, right? What we'll do is we'll just have one nice big one over there. Excellent. So a bit more office space coming in right over here. So this is like part of the Exact Bay International Office, and so International Airport. And so see, that's how you kind of just fill in your area with what you've got going for yourself. What I'm tempted to do is we could actually squeeze one in over there. Wow, that's busy. Look at that traffic. Oh, but there's a lot of people moving in, so we won't judge it by what's happening over there, and we may have to double these up to 2 lanes. But yeah, I'm loving this new area. It's really growing out nicely, really enjoying it. And so now what we could do is we could actually have some more residential slithering in here as well. But we could also go all the way across this to the other side and see how our residential area is doing, our suburb. Look at our suburb filling in nicely over here. Look at that. Nice little residential suburb, people parking, slipping off the highway, in the park, probably hanging out over here. Peace unpowered over there. These roads are busy doing their thing. I would like to get the speed of this road up a little more. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. This road, nice. People from across this side, people over the highway popping in here, in and out. Lots of cars parked everywhere. This guy having a bit of an issue with crime, but absolutely loving it. So this area over here we could start filling in with a little bit more of a suburban look and feel. Nice, it looks really good. Love the suburbs. I've got the suburbs over here. Nice. So yeah, there we go. This is what we've done. It's growing nicely. The one thing that this is probably not great for is actually getting ourselves the and maybe what we do is we move this thing around and then we get ourselves a little bit of an emergency route out of here. I think that will help us. I think that'll help us. I'll have a look at that maybe in the next episode. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think? I think we're planning out quite nicely with the shape of the airport, and I know airports aren't tiny like this, but this is still a fairly small city, right? Less than 50,000 people. That is pretty sizable airport for that. Whether that's to scale though is probably a different question. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tell me what you think of our new airport area and the series, of course. And hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. Okay, bye-bye.